Market update here on the 26th. Going to go over Coin first because Coin had a huge day today, up almost 17%, and I traded it. So clearly a fifth wave here. So going back here, there's two different potentials for here. It was either ABC down here or a fifth wave higher here, and I think we're in a fifth wave. And the reason why is we broke that high today. Well, we broke it the other day, I guess, too. But we broke it again, and that was a fifth wave. But I don't think this is finished yet, actually. I traded it today. I got in late. I didn't have shares before today. I got in pretty late here, actually. I got in here around like 184. But it was pretty obvious it was going to make a new high. And so I still made pretty good money just off of the move from 185 to 195. And I think that this is a start of a fourth wave here. And I guess post market here, it's at 195. So the top was at 197. I think tomorrow, just based on the chart, you're probably going to see a pullback one more time. So based on the chart, that's what I see. It's pretty clear it's got to be an ABC move down here. That being said, Coin does just go wherever Bitcoin goes, so the chart can be erratic. So if it just goes up tomorrow, then there's nothing you can do. Like I got out at 195. I was thinking if it comes down here to like 189, 190, I'd get back in. But if it just takes off tomorrow without that happening, then I'm going to miss out on the move. But this is clearly a corrective move, clearly an impulse move. So we should see a C wave down here tomorrow. So we'll see if that happens. And if that happens, I'd be looking for this daily supply zone up here at 202. But this right here that I have for this parallel line is drawn from the second to the fourth. I put it at the top of the third wave. So maybe we hit the top of this parallel line up here at like 212. So somewhere in this area would be my target, 202 to 212. But it all depends on what Bitcoin does. So now we can go to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is still at 54.6 here. You can see here it has not started a fourth wave. So I want to see some hourly red candles for a fourth wave, and then who knows, is this going to go to 57K or is it going to make it all the way to this daily supply zone at 64K? If it goes all the way up here to 63K and this daily supply zone, then, which would be a huge move, then Coin can go to like 280, maybe even 300. So I think it's probably unlikely, though. We are getting really overextended here. So on the daily standard deviation, you can see here, we're at the very, very top of this move. On Coin, 200 is about the top of the move. So like 202 to 212 is almost pushing it too. So if it falls back tomorrow morning, I'll probably buy back in and then try to ride it up here to 202 to 212. And then I'll be out because I think that we would be starting a fourth wave. So it'd be something like this. And on the fourth wave, I'd probably be looking for, is that a gap from, I'm trying to figure out if that's a gap or not. No. There is a gap down here though. I'd probably be looking for this gap on a pullback. So up here and then just back here into the same spot we were just in a few days ago would be the fourth wave target. Potentially all the way down here. It could come all the way down here, but it can't cross into 116. So it's possible that it gets a deeper correction, but I would probably just be looking for something right here around like 165, 170. This would be pushing it a little bit. So Coin, pretty good trade today. Very simple to read. and I love trading this right now. It's so simple to read, except for the fact that I can point out one thing that was I would have gotten in earlier if this wouldn't have been the case. But right here, this made a new low, and it looks like a corrective move to me. That's why I said originally that I was looking for 179, and then it just ripped. So apparently that was the end. It looks like an impulse move too, but apparently that was the end. So I guess there's a slight possibility that this is a B wave, but I don't think so. I think it's a fifth wave. All right, let's go over, I guess I can go over Mara too. There's a bunch of other miners. They all did well, obviously. Mara, the third wave ended here at 30.46. The top of the third wave was at 31.32. So I would expect this to make a new high here. Similar to Bitcoin though, the chart is, it's probably in a fourth wave. So you're probably going to see something like that. I'm not sure where it's going to go. Maybe it goes like 35 bucks. But you're probably going to see that. And then it's the same chart as, it's not the same chart actually as coin. Because this came back into this right here. So on this one, that might have been a second wave. I don't know on this one actually. I'll have to look at this one more in depth. I just know the short-term count. Yeah, well, I'll do a count on this later, but it's a different chart than coin. So, yeah, it looks like 5 waves though. Look for a new high over 31.33 soon. QQQ, doing kind of what I thought it would. Actually, all of tech was down today pretty much, or like barely up, and that's kind of what I expected because you had the top right there and you had this big move down, and so I'm kind of expecting this to be, we might get something like this back up here to 438, 439 over the next day or two, or probably the next day, and then probably continue down after that. And then that's when we're going to find out, is this going to be an extension, or is it going to be the top right here and make a big, big drawdown? I would lean towards, I'd probably lean towards, let me zoom out here. I don't know. I think I'm kind of leaning towards it being a bigger drawdown, but it kind of depends. We'll see if this turns out to be a corrective move or not. So, looks like impulse move. I want to see where this tops out at, and then we'll see if we get a third wave down or just a C wave down, and take it day by day. But again, I think it's going to at least come down here to probably 431 or 432. And then potentially all the way down here to fill the gap at 425 here next. So maybe up a little bit tomorrow, and then more downside after that. And that should probably be about the same time that, maybe the same time as when Bitcoin is topping out too. So we'll see on that. Microsoft, I was looking to play Microsoft today, but it did not hit my target yet. For me to play Microsoft, I need this to hit probably this demand zone right here, because if this is a first wave, which it probably is, then I need a retracement to at least 406, but probably the supply zone, and you have a gap fill here at 402. So I'll be buying calls on this or shares tomorrow, depending on what coin's doing. I might just trade coin, but with this, potentially looking at a move to 428 and then more higher than that, like 440, 450. So buying here in this demand zone is going to be a pretty good play, even if it's just a simple bounce out of it, still a good play. So I'm looking for buying in this zone and riding it up after that. NVIDIA. NVIDIA, same thing. You have this labeled here. Is this wave 5 or is this 1 of 5? So on NVIDIA, I'd be looking for a pullback to, well, this is saying 743. It's always doubtful when you try to say a pullback on NVIDIA, but 743 is what I see. Let's just see. And you can see that 1.61 fib is at 743. It's doing the exact same thing as QQQ. So look for a pullback to 743 on this, and then we get to find out, is this going to be this, or is this the top and we're going to see a major correction? I would lean towards probably going higher just based on the dollar. So I can just go over the dollar again. Dollar is at 103.78. It's playing out pretty much exactly as, well, it's not yet, I guess. It hasn't really made that big of a move, but it's starting to downtrend perfectly. So who knows? Maybe it comes up here a little bit higher and then starts coming down here more, or we're already in the third wave. And if that's the case, again, we're going to 96. That means the extensions on all those tech stocks are likely to happen. Apple, flat to down again. I went over this a little bit. I think that it's probably in a second wave of a fifth wave, most likely. So again, this is probably wave 1. So it's probably going to do something like this. I don't know how high it's going to go. I mean, the 1.61 fib of this move is $220. You're probably looking at something, I don't know, maybe around like 240 for a top on Apple. So what else are we looking at here? Mara, QQQ, Bitcoin, all had a big move today. I was in this stock and then I sold too early, unfortunately. But I'm skeptical of the move, although it looks like a fourth wave to me. This could be a C wave. So I'd watch out. If it comes up here to 1282, that might be a B wave. So we might be getting something like that. If they don't, they have some like news that's supposed to come out of like a big pharmaceutical gonna purchase them. I don't know the exact news, but if that doesn't happen here soon, I could see it consolidating down here. There's a small chance this is actually the fifth wave, in which the target would be all the way up here in the high 18s. Maybe even higher than that if you zoom out here again. The A wave ended right here at 35. Came back down here, so we could see 35 bucks in this easily. What else we got here? So, at a request for Palantir, and I haven't done Tesla yet, actually. I forgot about that. Palantir is kind of a weird one. The last video I did on this one, I was thinking it would only go to 20, so I was completely wrong on that. Their earnings took it all the way up here. And I also thought the fifth wave ended right here. At this point, can't be an expanded flat. So I'm guessing that this is in some kind of ending diagonal, maybe. because these are corrective moves. This is definitely a corrective move. That's why I said it could go to 20 and it doesn't come back down here. But it's a strong stock. It's kind of like the early stages of like Microsoft or Apple, where it just keeps on extending over and over. And so like normal technical analysis isn't going to tell you exactly where it's going to go. So I could see this being potentially like a diagonal maybe. But again, I don't know for sure. There are a lot of gaps up here. I can tell you there's a gap here at 27. There's a gap here at 31. So I'd probably be looking at those supply zones. So you got a supply zone right here. And then you have a supply zone around 31. And if you're just looking at this individual move right here, it looks to me like it has more upside. So it looks to me like it's probably going to go up here to at least 27, potentially 31, I would think. So that's Palantir, and then Tesla. I forgot about Tesla. Tesla, nice move today. However, it stayed between the parallel lines, which it can still go higher after this. But I would lean towards it doing this. I would lean towards that just because I'm expecting the overall market to pull back. However, the overall market might go up tomorrow a little bit. So we'll see if they allow it to go over 200 tomorrow. Slim chance, unless the market's going to correct a ton. If the market's going to correct a ton, then I'm thinking that Tesla's probably going to finish this move. Go up here to like 212. But if the market is going to be in an extension that I talked about, then you're probably going to get a ABC move like this. And then it's going to go higher after that. So I prefer this rather than going higher right away, because then we're probably going to get an extension in the overall market, and then you're probably looking at something to 220 at least, and then a pullback, and then it's going to go higher than that. So I don't care which one happens. I sold a lot of options on this. I'm not really trading it anymore, just because I don't like the way it moves anymore. It's just easier to trade stocks like Coin. And it's pretty much all there is to say on it. It's a difficult stock right now, and we'll see if it breaks out tomorrow. Is it going to go to 212 soon, or are we going to fall back down here to 185 first? Not sure. Looks very bullish today, but it could easily turn into an ABC pattern down here. So that's pretty much it for today. I'm going to do a SoFi video separately, but let me know what else you want me to look at. I guess someone said IWM too. Let me look at that. IWM, I think, is likely going to be in a fifth wave, similar to QQQ. Although it could also be, again, if we get that correction, so it depends on if we're going to get the correction or we get the extension. On the correction, I'd probably be looking at something like this. On the extension, you're probably looking at something like this. And honestly, I can't give you a target because the market might just melt up for a long time. I would say my baseline target is up here in the supply zones between 223 and 232. Again, I have this as a B wave overall. So I think that it's either in the last stages or it's going to fall back down here. Unless we get some kind of extension too. There could be an extension that can go much higher. But again, I thought back probably 3, 4, or 5 months ago that we were going to be up here around 200 and then we were going to fall down here. I thought the market was going to correct by now. So the market hasn't corrected, and so it changes everything. So basically, fall back here to 187, or melt up here to at least 223 to 230. And I'm leaning towards probably looking at the melt up, but I don't know, because there's a lot of different structures on the growth stocks that make me think there's going to be a bigger correction, but then the market doesn't correct. So again, that's pretty much it for now. Let me know in the comments if you have any other stocks to look at. I'm mainly following Coin, Tesla, Microsoft, Nvidia, and QQQ. So those charts, I have like better understanding of what's going on. IWM I haven't looked at for probably 2 or 3 weeks. So just based on this looking though, it does look like it's probably going to be in a B wave, but again, the extension is still possible. All right, that's it for now. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe. Catch you in the SoFi video.